It's also time for the annual Joe Bob Briggs Thanksgiving message. And this year, no Indian stuff. I'm sick of talking about the Indians. We gave them Oklahoma. What else do they want? But letters on that one. I shouldn't have said that. Anyhow, here's what I wanted to say. You might have noticed on the census form you got this year where you were supposed to write down your ethnic origin. So people wrote on there Lithuanian, Scotch, Ecuadorian, Palestinian, Jew, or Afro-Spanish, Hindustani, or whatever they were. Even if their family had been in America for the last 300 years, they wrote that down there. Well, I wrote American on mine, and you know why? Because I have no idea what I am. See, the men in my family would marry any woman that still had a majority of her limbs. But, see, I thought that was why we all came to America, so we could get rid of ethnic origin. But ever since that miniseries Roots came out in the 70s, ethnic origin has been this big deal. And so this year, people are just going ape over it. I know a lot of people who they go down to the library all weekend, searching through these microfilm marriage licenses and Civil War records so they can find out whoever their granddaddy's granddaddy was and how much he paid for a bushel of oats in East Woonsocket, Rhode Island in 1803. And then they write it down in their book, you know, paid 20 cents for a bushel of oats, East Woonsocket, 1803. And if they find one measly fact like this, they go home from the library bragging to everybody about their heritage. You know, my people come from East Woonsocket, Rhode Island. Of course, you can correct them and you can say, well, actually, you don't know that, do you? You know that they might have just shopped in East Woonsocket, Rhode Island. But see, this will make them extremely mad. And in fact, if you challenge almost anything a person says about his roots, he's liable to blow your head off with a shotgun. Like if you say, Hiram, what if your ancestors were just liars? You know, you'll die. Hiram will kill you. Because my grandma, she had the right idea. She said, never ask where you came from, because you go back far enough and you'll find either a Catholic priest or a horse thief. But the interesting thing today is that a lot of the people who research their genealogy, they're proud when they find a Catholic priest or a horse thief. You know, there are at least 100,000 people in Texas named Hardin who will tell you that they're related to the gunfighter John Wesley Hardin. And you can say, wait a minute, John Wesley Hardin, isn't that the guy who killed people just for cruelty sometimes? And they'll say, that's right. I'm related to him, direct blood descendant, you know. I have a bunch of relatives in Waco, Texas. They're related to James K. Polk, the president. And I say, wasn't he kind of a pitiful, stupid, unexciting president? I mean, didn't he start the Mexican War, and wasn't he like a little sleazy? And they'll say, yep, President Polk, we're all descended from him. That's our family. So my point is this. You know, the only people who aren't proud of some dead ancestor or some family name from across the ocean somewhere, it's the people who show up in the courtroom to take that naturalization oath. You know what I mean? They're people who used to be Vietnamese or Nigerian or Nicaraguan or Chinese, but if you ask them what they are today, right after they took that oath, they'll tell you, I'm an American. They will never say Chinese-American or Afro-American. The people who say Chinese-American or Afro-American, they've never set foot in China. They've never set foot in Africa. So what I think we ought to do is we ought to throw out the entire United States Congress and elect only the people that just took the naturalization oath. And you know why? Because they're not proud of where they came from. They're proud of where they are. So that's my Thanksgiving message. Enjoy the movie. See you in between the flicks. And that's it. Where are you guys from?
You're watching.